Hey, in this video, I'm going to tell you 10 ways to improve your studio finances today. So these are 10 actions that you can take today to improve your studio finances. And I know from running a music school that the most stressful times are when you run out of money or when you just don't have your finances in control. So today I want to give you a whole bunch of things that you need to do to get in control, and it will greatly reduce those stress levels. Now, just before we get into the 10 things, really quick, if you haven't checked out buildamusicschool.com, go check it out. There's also an awesome masterclass there that I've recorded called the 3-Step Framework that exploded my music school from 30 to 2,000 students, and the 3 things that I would change if I had to do it again. That is a awesome masterclass loaded for some of the best tips and strategies and things that I learned as I grew my large music school, and it'll apply to you whether you are a solo tutor, small or large academy owner. The principles, you can plug them into your business and see some growth and take things a bit further and faster in your business. Really cool stuff. Well, let's get into number 1. So the first thing you need to do to improve your studio finances today, number 1, is you need to get your budget under control. So you need to actually have a budget that you feel in control of and you're able to visually see everything, and you need to know what's going on. And the most important thing that you need to be tracking is cash flow. And so you need to know what the amount of money is going to be in your bank, not just today, but in 3 months, 7 months time. And with a really great budget and cash flow forecast, you can see that. I know early on in my business, I worked from, P&L statements or waiting for the financial reports from the accountant. That's just not good enough. Working from your P&L, profit and loss, or even just your bank balance, that's not a strategy. You need to have a full cash flow forecast, and it's not too hard to set up, but that brings so much clarity to what you're doing. You can graph it so you can see where things are going. You can see a problem down the line and you can jump on it now so it gets fixed, and it doesn't surprise you. So number 1 is getting your budget fully under control so you can see where every dollar is going and how much dollars you're going to have in the bank at any one point over the next year. So number 2 is that you need to review all your costs, and you need to do that with a fresh set of eyes. So go through your P&L statement, your budget, and look at every single line where you spend money, and ask yourself on every single thing, hey, do I need this? Could it be cut? Could it be saved in some way? Or is this something that's actually really valuable that's, increasing the revenue, and do I need to actually boost that because that will give me more money to help afford all the other things? So you go through your whole budget, and you'll be surprised at the number of things that you spend money on that you can actually save on. And, tens of dollars add to hundreds, and hundreds add to thousands, and thousands to tens of thousands. It all adds up. And a quick little example, my wife and I, at the end of last year, we redid our phone bills and we got some new phones, and it had been like 2 years since we'd even looked at our phone contract. And all the prices we didn't know had actually come down quite a lot. It was very competitive, and we ended up saving hundreds of dollars a year each based on our phone plans. So there's just one thing. You can look at each individual expense. Can you call 2 different companies and play them off against each other to get it down? Every single expense will have a different strategy to it, but have a look and go through with a fresh set of eyes. So that is number 2, review all your costs. Number 3 is that you need to get your business model right. You might have heard me say before that a broken business model will only scale and grow with immense pressure and personal sacrifice. So if you are feeling like you're working double shifts and your hourly rate is lower than anyone else in your team, or you're just not really making what you need to, you're stressed out, that's probably stemming from a broken business model. And I definitely went through that in early years and had to learn how to fix it. So many times musicians, they have just set up their business model based on kind of what their teacher did or what they see everyone else doing. That's so old. It's, hundreds of years old. It doesn't work. It doesn't scale. It's okay if you want to own a job, just having a little private business at home, which is more a job than a business. That's great. But if you want to build a business, you need a business model that actually works. So there's no point just working longer and harder on a model that's broken. You need to fix the model as soon as possible. And even if it requires you having a strategy over 12 months to fix it and get it right, in the long run, you're going to be able to build something really epic because you took the time to get it right. So that's number 3, get your business model right. All right, number 4. Actually, before we get into number 4, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more stuff like it to help you, I put stuff out every week, and you can smash the like button, the subscribe, whatever, thumbs up, anything like that would really greatly help the algorithm and help you see more stuff like this that will help you. So that would be much appreciated. Number 4 is it time for a price increase? The answer of raising your fees is it's almost always yes. We put our fees up every year. So for you, when was the last time you put your fees up? Even if you had to grandfather people in, if you don't know what that is, that's the idea that you're paying, everyone's paying this much, and then you're too scared to put everyone up, so you just put all the new people up, so you have 2 levels now, and then you put the price up again and you have the new people go up. That's called grandfathered pricing. You often see it in many different businesses. Even in our BAM squad, we have grandfathered pricing. All the people that got in early, they're paying the original price. People who were too slow came in later, they're paying a higher price, and it'll keep going up. So that's one model if you feel nervous about the price. But what I've learned is that the person that's most freaked out about the price increase is not the customers, it's you. And I always felt nervous putting the price up. So did many of my team members over the years who were parents with kids and saw the price and thought, oh, that's a bit expensive. But every time we put the price up, when we actually do the maths, it was only the tiniest percentage of people that we lost. And the increase in revenue that you generated far outweighed the lost income from those few people that left. So you need to make this a practice, instill it into your studio. So you need to have a look at where your price is now, where it probably should be, and how you're going to move it there, and how you can get into a pattern of increasing it every year. So there we go. That is number 4. Is it time for a price increase? Okay, number 5 is that you need to automate your payment method. Now, gone are the days where it used to be, cash or checks were old school, and it's like, hey, get rid of that. That's too old. Let's move to internet banking and invoicing. And that was the new thing. Now it's like, in this world, internet banking and, online banking and invoicing, that's kind of a bit old, and we need to be moving towards automated payments, direct debits. And this is something that totally changed our studio when we moved to it. And it was really tough for us because we were so big, and so there were just so many people that had been used to doing things this way. And then you had to say, hey, we're not doing this anymore, we're moving to this. And it's really hard to transition people that are kind of stuck in a way of doing things. But for everyone else that comes in after that, they just think, oh, this is the way it's always done. So basically the answer here is, when should we change to automation and billing? As soon as possible. Because if your studio is growing, the sooner you do it, the less people you're going to have to transition and work that process through with. So can you imagine having automated billing where you were just, taking the money from their account every month, term, week, however your payments are set up, and you're not having to invoice and wait and chase up late payments and send people to debt collection or any of that sort of stuff. It just cuts down so much of your workload. You're still going to have, the odd, payment that bounced or a card that got cancelled, and you have to do some admin and, chasing people up. But that's so minimal compared to the amount of work you had to do with any old method of billing and invoicing and chasing up, etc. So number 5, automating your payments really is one of the things that you need to do to get your studio finances under control. All right, number 6 is to get your marketing strategy sorted. Often people think of marketing as this like expense that we have to put money to, and I'm not sure how it's going to work. If I put in $1, am I going to get $2 out? And they're a bit nervous about it. You have to have marketing, and you have to have a good marketing strategy so that it does bring you a great return. And you have to learn what a good strategy is in order to feel confident putting money in, and to go from thinking of marketing as an expense to actually an investment or like a money machine. And so there's lots of different ways you can attract students. I think the best strategy is the strategy that I've created through building my school from 30 to 2000, and I call it CODA marketing. CODA is an acronym. And in that workshop, I mentioned that you can grab free on the homepage of buildamusicschool.com. I take you right through it. There's nothing hidden. I'm just like, here it is. So go through it, check out the Coda Marketing, and that works for, studios of any size. I used it from a solo tutor up to, a couple thousand students and 50 staff. So it'll work for you, and it helps you be diversified and market in the right areas and the right strategies. So if one of them falls down, you've got the other three. So you're not just depending on one thing. So getting your marketing strategy sorted improves the cash and revenue coming into your business, and that's the lifeline. So that is the sixth strategy for getting your studio finances sorted and looking good. Okay, number 7 is to stop looking for a magic bullet. Okay, too often I see people looking for, this one-hit wonder, this magic bullet that's going to transform everything and bring 100 grand in tomorrow and make everything okay. In this industry, I believe there are no quick fixes. There are long-term, great strategic moves and strategies that you use rather than looking for a giant lotto win. Over time, it's like the tortoise and the hare. If you ever read that book, the tortoise that plods on consistently doing the right things wins, rather than the hare that is, just bolting fast for a bit, stopping and chilling, and then bolting fast. That's kind of the attitude of looking for the next big thing. What can I do that will, bring me a crazy amount of money? So don't look for the magic bullet. Look for the right strategy, the right model. We just talked about marketing and cash flow, so that would be one of the right things you need to do. This video itself is all about getting your finances in order, so there's a bunch of things here. Those would be the right strategies around finances. So for every area of your business, it's getting the right steps in place and just every day showing up, doing the kick-ass job and taking one step forward, doing the right thing, and that's how you see that exponential growth. So stop looking for a magic bullet and implement the right strategies. Okay, number 8, identify your top most valuable tasks. Okay, so this is in 2 or 3 sections. The top most valuable things that you do in your studio, you need to identify what those are. What brings in the most revenue with the least amount of work, and you need to double down on those. Same thing for you and your workload. If you want to increase your studio finances, you need to look at every hour that you do, and you need to identify, hey, what are the top 5 things that I do amazingly that bring the most, revenue into the business and move the needle the most, and you need to double down on those. And you'll hear people say this stuff all the time, but I just want to, if I could grab you and shake you for a minute and go, listen, do this. This is so important. You actually write down those things, and then you look at everything else you do, and you start looking at how you can move that on to other people. You start delegating, whether it's a part-time assistant for 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, whether it's another tutor teaching the beginners and you teach the seniors, or the group lessons, or the more valuable large classes, or you're building, extra online resources which you'll charge more to the students for. Whatever you're doing that's worth more money, that is what you double down on, and you make sure that everything else you're trying to, as you can afford it, get it off your plate onto someone else's and build that team around you. So identify the most valuable tasks for you personally. If you've got a team, it's also about finding the most valuable tasks for each of those members, and as a whole company, what are the most valuable things you're doing as well. So that is one of those things that's easier said than done, but man, once I started doing that, things just grow. So try and do that. That's number 8. Okay, number 9 is to look at all the staffing hours if you've got staff, and you need to identify all the jobs that they're doing, and you need to look to see whether there's any technology that could be implemented to cut down hours, because if you save hours, that equals saving dollars. Okay, now you can either just save that money and have less hours, or you can take those hours saved and apply them to something that generates more money. So most likely sales, revenue, teaching, anything that generates income into your business. So go through and look at all the tasks that you have people doing. There's new technologies being invented all the time. There are systems and procedures that, even large schools like mine have developed over time to save time and money. Find out what those are. Look at everything that you do, every action from right from advertising through to signing up students, through to teaching, through to communications to parents, just every single thing you do. And look, what technologies could we implement where, hey, yeah, we might have to pay $50 or $100 a month for the software, but it's actually going to cut down this much in man hours. You're probably already using a bunch of technologies. What could be missing that would save you more and more hours and therefore dollars? Okay, number 10, last one, is to look for plug and play resources. So like we talked about technology, trying to find something that will plug into your business, save you time and money. What about revenue generating things? What about programs that you can plug into your studio that will actually really increase the revenue? It might be launching a new type of class that you don't offer and all the resources are given to you. It might be a whole marketing program with a whole bunch of creative ads that have been tested and that work, and maybe you're not the best at marketing, and so you can implement that and that drives revenue. What are the things that are out there? Obviously I've got to give a plug to Builder Music Schools because I think we are doing this the best and have the testimonials to show for it, and so you can check out what we're doing. Obviously it's every resource that I use to grow my school, and you get to plug and play, so there's a whole bunch of stuff there, but there's some other people doing really great things as well. So have a look. What are the potential spots where you've got some tutors maybe, or yourself in an area where you're talented, you got potential, but you don't have time to develop a program for 6 months, or you don't have time to go learn how to do this marketing thing, or create these videos, or whatever it is. Look for the things that you can plug and play to increase the revenue drastically. So that would be number 10. Now, that is the 10 things that will improve your studio finances today, so you can get started on looking at what would be the first one for you to tackle. Just a reminder, go check out buildermusicschool.com. There's loads of resources there. There's obviously some paid memberships you can be part of, but there's a bunch of free things as well. So just start off with that. If you find that helpful, maybe you'd like to join us in our Builder Music School membership called the BAM Squad. That's what the t-shirt is. Love to see you over there. Love to work with you personally. But hope that you've enjoyed this video and you are on your way to improving your studio finances.